All right, what's up, y'all? Fresh out the Caleb Plant Canelo Alvarez fight. That was a good fight, man. That was a really, really good fight, man. And let me tell you something. I was not. No, I don't want to say I'm not expecting because I was expecting Plant to be really sharp early on that fight, but he was super sharp. And you know what? He even had a second win. Like his defense. That's like I was saying. Shout out to everyone that was here on the live commentary just now. His defense was tight. You know, um, his defense, and after the first 4 rounds, which I gave to him, I thought that Canelo was in a lot of trouble. And especially if this guy wouldn't slow down. It wasn't until the fifth round where I started to see a difference in Plant, and that's how I called it live. You can definitely go back and check that video out, but basically the way I scored it. The first 4 rounds went to Plant to me. The following 3 rounds went to Canelo. And then I gave a round to Plant. The ninth round I gave to Canelo. Now, the ninth round was a round I couldn't score while I was watching it. Okay, I think the ninth round was that one round that I felt like I couldn't score. I think that was the one, swing round. I gave the 10th round to Canelo, and then the 11th round we got the stoppage. So I officially had it score a draw before the stoppage. I had it 5-5. Steve Farhood clearly had it a lot wider. I haven't checked the judges' official card yet, but look, Caleb, his stock went way up for me, and it's really mainly due to his defense. I mean, he was very slick. We all knew he was slick, but he countered well. Canelo was throwing the shots that we normally see from him. Didn't make that much of a use of his jab, but he attacked the body. He was throwing hooks. He was throwing overhand rights, and he just couldn't cleanly connect for the majority of this fight. He just couldn't. Caleb, he outworked Caleb for sure. He definitely outworked him, but we expected that because Caleb hasn't looked that sharp in the later rounds of his fights. So we expected that, but his defense was sharp. His defense was sharp, and he made Canelo pay a lot with those short right hands that he countered Canelo with. You know what I'm saying? And he was good. He was good. And I told you guys on the live commentary, he did better than everybody that I've seen him fight. Canelo fight since Triple G in a rematch. Caleb did better than Jacobs. He did better than Kovalev. He did better than Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. He did better than all of those guys. Triple G in a rematch. Caleb is definitely up there as far as the top fighters that Canelo has faced. The guy's taller and longer, but he knew how to use his height and his reach. He moved well. The feints were on point. The counters were on point. His defense was super on point. I mean, damn, that defense was, even Canelo going to the body just couldn't connect. He was real sharp with that defense and that guard. He kept it really, really tight. And he did a good job. It's just that as the fight went on, he started to gas out, started to get hit with shots that he was slipping before. And like I said, like in the second half, like maybe after the seventh round, he started to move a little better again. He took a few rounds off. Canelo started to get the momentum back, but he came back a little bit. But by the time after the 10th round, you could tell big difference. Going to the 11th round, gets caught with a sweeping left hook by Canelo. Canelo puts him down. He gets up, but he still never really fully recovered, and Canelo stopped him and finished him off. All right, good effort in KO. I mean, you get stopped, but it was a great effort by Caleb Plant, and it makes me, it definitely makes me respect him a lot more because I didn't know how to really gauge him based on the opponents he faced. I knew how good he looked against them, but he looked superb here, and I honestly didn't know how the fight was going to go if it went to the scorecards, but I assumed that it was going to go to the scorecards going into the 11th round. I just assumed. All of this is on a live commentary. But anyway, it was a great fight, And, Canelo is now undisputed, first Mexican fighter to become undisputed. And he's the first super middleweight to go undisputed. And he's legit. For the people that didn't think he was pound for pound number one, which I already did. But if you didn't think that, at this point, it's like, bro, it's pretty damn clear at this point, He's undisputed. He's the best fighter in the world. Some people say Usyk at this point, but again, it's that whole heavyweight thing. If you rate heavyweights as as pound for pound, I'm not undisputed pound for pound, then fine. But Canelo at this point, 4 divisions, undisputed. Undisputed is rare nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But both 2 divisions, undisputed, fought against some of the best fighters, legendary fighters, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer fighters. It's just too much. The accolades is just too high at this point. He's the best fighter in the world. I don't know where he goes from here. There's so many options. Again, at 168, I think the only thing that's left at 168 is Benavidez. But at 170, you got Bivol, you got Better BF, At 160, you still have Charlo, you still have Andre that people want to see. But to be honest, man, as far as defense is concerned, I don't see anyone in any of those divisions displaying the type of defense, that tight guard that Plant had. I just don't see it. They have strengths in different ways and stuff. Especially guys at 175 that are bigger, and stronger and stuff. But it's just, I don't know. I think any fight is doable for Canelo. I just don't know what he's gonna do. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see. We'll definitely talk about this tomorrow. I want to be able to sleep and think about it, and just sleep on it. But it was a good fight, and it was a fight that I was scared. I wasn't scared going into it, because you guys know my pick. I picked Canelo to win late, but I was thinking more like 8th round. But as the fight was on, I was like, I don't think Canelo's gonna, I think this fight could go anywhere, anywhere. But by the time it was stopped, I kind of was glad it was stopped, because it could have been one of those ones. Like, one thing I don't want to deal with is the judges. The way that they are. In any fight that's close like that, I could see it being controversial if they had picked Canelo, because people are going to say Plant won, he got robbed, and I didn't want to get one of those things, you know what I'm saying? So when he won and he stopped, I was like, all right, I felt a little relieved, because it's not that I didn't want Plant to win or anything. It's just that I didn't want it to be left to the judges, because that was too close of a fight. And then, you know how you have one judge that has it so wide, and the way how Steve Farhood had it wide on his unofficial scorecard. He only gave Plant 2 rounds. So, the problem with Plant 2 is I have it on playing on the background. I had to go back and watch this 9th round. The problem with Plant is that he didn't have any real intent on the shots. He was just quick. He was, scoring shots he was landing, but no powerful shots. No real thudding shots. It was just more based on speed and scoring. And he did a good job of that, but you don't keep Canelo from, you don't make him slow down. You don't make him, respect you. There's other fighters that Canelo, I think, will respect a little bit more, like a Charlo, like a Bivol, like a Better BF, even like a Benavidez. But at the same time, are they gonna have the defense that Caleb displayed here? The movement that he showed, the counter punching that he showed, are they gonna have that? I'm not sure if they can do that. I think Bivol will be the closest one to do it and do some of the things that he did in this fight. Plus, Bivol has a better gas tank, But again, we just gotta wait and see, Bivol could come down to 168 to fight Canelo, and he might be drained. You know what I'm saying? So there's no real way to call it. But there's so many options. I don't know what Canelo's gonna do again. Are there plans of him fighting any other PBC fighters since he just fought on PBC? You never know. They could tell us one thing. Maybe he did a deal with them to fight one of them. Maybe they didn't just pay him. Maybe there was a deal involved where he fights a Jamal Charlo, one of his fighters, And then Eddie is with Demetrius Andrade, he's a matchroom promote. He's the matchroom promoter, and Andrade's a matchroom fighter. So you never know. We might still get one of those fights. Who knows? You can't sleep on Triple G3. You can't sleep on it. It can still absolutely happen. You just never know. All right, but Canelo really had a fight. He missed a lot in this fight. He got hit a lot in this fight. Fortunate for him, Plant wasn't a big puncher, so he kept going. But if he was to get hit that much by another fighter that could punch a lot harder, he might have had some real issues tonight, But it was a good fight overall. Very good fight. Had fun. We have a new undisputed champ. And I love this about boxing. I like the fact that he's going to fight 3 times next year, and so many options to fight different people. All right, but salute to Caleb Plant. Like, again, his stock went up. It's risen. I'm looking forward to see him fight. And if Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez, maybe we get the Plant fight, But I'm assuming, coming off of a loss, I'm assuming Plant is going to fight Darrell. Darrell was on the undercard. Darrell and Plant don't like each other. And that could be, a stay busy or a comeback from a loss type of fight for Plant. But Plant's stock has risen because of his defense. His defense was really tight on that guard. And I can't see Andrade and Charlo and all these guys just playing that kind of defense. They might punch harder, but that defense was tight. And I think having a good defense like that is part of the reason why Canelo really was challenged. All these other guys, sometimes they're bigger, they have power, but they don't have that kind of defense, Plant, salute to him again one more time. Salute to everyone that was on the comments that watched my live fight commentary. Salute to everyone that donated to the channel. Salute to everyone that's new, old subscribers, new subscribers, anyone that smashed the like button and just support it in any way. Appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow to talk more about this fight. All right. Peace.